So let's keep this one, just duplicate it here. And let's delete our notes. Let's again create a MIDI clip, hitting Shift Command and M. Let's choose a different color for this one so we can see it more clearly and which scale we're in. All right, a very interesting approach on, especially on writer's block, I would say, comes from a tutorial from Sebastian Leger. It's on YouTube. Check it out. It's awesome, where he really goes into his process of everything, basically, making a whole track there. But there's one point which I think is pretty interesting, and that point is where he's composing like a melody or ARP, I don't know. And what he's doing is he's just like hitting B, and then he's just like inserting notes. And afterwards, he's just like, I will just turn this little pre-listen knob out here. And then he's just going in there and really he's like deleting notes randomly. So I will just close my eyes and I hope I hit some of them. So, okay. And then he just deletes some notes and then he's listening to it. Okay. And this is like, I think it's super cool for if you know writer's block, you know, because then you have notes and get rid of notes instead of like, okay, which notes are the right ones on which position and I don't know how to proceed, you know. So I think this is a pretty cool approach. Also, it can make you pretty creative. So now we have like just some notes that we dialed in, and now we can start applying those rules of thumb for this Masane style ARP. So the rules of thumb have been, we have our very strong and homecoming note, which was in our case the D, and in his case the B, or it could be even the F sharp. But we will use a B here, and it's coming on the downbeat. So let's just drag a note from one of our notes we just created and put it on this downbeat. And then we have our other notes that are more like playing a syncopated rhythm. Of course, I would just vary the pitch here a little bit to not stay on one note all the time, because I mean it's melodic house, and if we don't make any melodies, and melodies are just a series of different notes with different pitches, it wouldn't make any sense for us. So I mean, this is already a cool rhythm, you know. It could work like in a more, like if you transpose this down, could work like in a more afterlife-y, more techy style. So if you want to do something like that, feel free. But this is, you know, I just want to make you aware of how different producing decisions lead to different outcomes and to different styles as well. Now we have those three notes here, and if we apply our like Masane style rules, we would say, or in this track he made the rules that we created, we would just click on this note and deactivate it, because we want to start not necessarily on the one, but with a more syncopated rhythm. So let's take the second note here, and of course we want to create a melody, so we have to vary the pitch of our notes. So let's just go down this time. I will just trying different stuff here and start on the F sharp, because as I said earlier, if you're starting, the lower you get with your notes that are being played, the more important it gets that they are really like harmonically right, okay? Because otherwise, like deep frequencies, they really clash with each other. So we will going down here, so let's try the F sharp, which is the fifth of the B, which will sound kind of stable. All right, cool. So we're getting home here. So let's just, I don't know if we need this note here. Let's just delete it or deactivate it for a moment. So we're leaving our track a little bit of space. Or if we want this, maybe we can alternate it to a different pitch, so it's not playing the same notes one after the other. I think this is also kind of a rule of thumb, you know? All right, so let's deactivate this for now. Sorry for the CPU crackling. So now I think this could work for our first two quarters. So let's try by alternating those notes. Let's go down as well, and with this one to the A. And now we will, I mean this ones we can really try to, we can do like a run here. So now we have like this shape that's going up. Could be a little bit boring maybe, but let's try it. Let's try to loop this section so we can have an impression of how it would sound like if it's repeating itself. Just have to check if the camera is recording properly. Well, we can make it even a little bit groovier here in the end by just deleting this note here. So the second and the fourth 16th note, they are the grooviest ones. Then there's the offbeat, like 8th notes, or the third 16th note, that is already pretty groovy. And the beat on the kick on the first hit 16th of the quarter note, this will be the most stable, but as well the most boring one. And now we can just try to vary those shapes here. I mean, now if we would just delete those notes so we can see it better, we're going up and then we're going up again. So we could even try to, in the end of this one, just go down to create a little bit more interest. And this G, for example, here, it's not working out. It's just too. It's too deep already, and thus with the B minor chord, it would be like the 6th degree, the minor 6th degree, which is clashing with the F sharp. So what would be playing at that moment would be this. And this is not sounding good. So now you have an example for what is not working as well, which I think is sometimes pretty important. Okay, cool. So we will not take that note and just go with the D. We could even go higher up here with the B, and let's try an F sharp, which is the 5th, which should work out pretty well. And really, guys, girls, just do whatever you want here, okay? If you want to make it more extreme, if you want to not stay in the range of a 5th or an octave, feel free. Just it has to sound good for you. I mean, we're like, I think we should leave this one on our like 2nd and 4th clap position. I think that's important. I mean, and now we could start to dial in a little bit more notes. And this would sound a little bit boring because this shape is super similar then to this one. And both, like at the 4th 16th position of this quarter here, there's the D, and in the same one here, it's also in that position. And this will make it sound a little bit boring. So let's try a different note. Let's make it more syncopated. So now those two parts, they act more if they're like independent from each other. So we have like this shape that is going up a little bit, like imagine a line going up here and then it's like increasing directly, then it's falling down and then it's doing like kind of a similar motion here, not that extreme, but yeah. So to make it more coherent or make it more glued together, we could try to transpose this F sharp here. So we're like staying with our line up here and then we're going down. And to make this gap a little bit smaller, we can even transpose this note up to the D. You can hear it, it's like dun dun dun. This sounds really, really standard, so it's cooler on this position here. Maybe we delete the D here. Now it's again a little bit boring because those two notes are repeating each other. Just trying around a little bit here. No. Yeah, why not? Alright, so and even like that, we didn't even adjust it like the notes according to the chords that are being played, but it works pretty well. And I try to always go like back and forth between like my sound design and Wavetape opening a little bit to get a feeling for how it would sound like in the end in my track, if we would really like compose it with that melody.